Hello.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to tie-dye,
Yay.
our last Friday activity. So, I guess we'll start out by saying we're using food coloring today. We did send an email out to some people, but you guys should have some vinegar.
Water. Elastics. Table salt.
Yes. Gloves if you want them.
Yeah.
Shayla's got hers on.
And food coloring.
A
You can,
cloth too.
oh yeah, I guess a tablecloth. You can also get fabric dye at the dollar store. So if you don't want to use food coloring or you don't have food coloring, there's always fabric tie-dye stuff at the dollar store.
Also, you'll want a plastic bag to wrap your shirt in after. We'll show you here quick. So with the food coloring, it's going to turn out something more like this.
Kind of pastel-y.
Very light. It might not even turn out this good, to be honest. This is in a cotton shirt. It kind of this is, any white shirt should do. And then this would be the fabric dye. It's pretty bright and vibrant. But if you want to look like this, you're best off to go buy some. Even if you can't find it at the dollar store like Walmart, it's not super expensive. Okay, so Shayla and I started by mixing our shirts in some water and vinegar, half water, half vinegar, and we let it sit for about an hour. And then once you're there, what you're gonna do, is just wring it out. This is kind of a hard part when you have a small bowl. So do it over the sink if you want.
Or outside.
Yeah. Outside's probably best. It's a really nice day. And I suggest wringing out as much as you can. So if you still have drips when you're wringing it, I would say try and go some more. Shayla's got a good idea. She put her shirt on the table, and then she folded it, and now she's wringing it out. You want it to feel more, it's going to obviously feel wet, but if you can have more of like that little bit of a damp feeling than a soaking wet feeling, it's probably best. Now we also use vinegar because food coloring isn't always supposed to stick into our clothing. So the vinegar helps it stick into our shirt. That's pretty good too, actually. So when you go like this, you shouldn't be able to see any water come out.
Good to go.
Oh yeah, got most of it out. Okay, we'll move some of this stuff off the table. Mostly up here to show you guys. Okay. So we're gonna show you guys how to do a spiral. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna want to have your shirt completely laid out flat. Up or down, doesn't matter. And then you're gonna find the middle somewhere, and that's gonna be the center of your spiral. So if you wanted to center your spiral to start up on your shoulder, you would pinch and spin from there. I'm going to do mine from the center, so I'm going to pinch in the middle, and then you're just going to spin. And then you're going to want to make sure your shirt stays nice and flat, because I find the flatter and more compact my spiral, the easier it is to put your elastics around it. So after that, you're going to want to put your elastics around. This is the tricky part. You might need to ask for some help. I try and crisscross mine. First, you go down the middle, and then you're going to go around the other side. So Shayla flipped her shirt. And I was going to put it around that way. And then I just keep going diagonal to continue making a star. One more just in case. See, so it should look something kind of like this. See how it has a spiral in the middle? Okay. So here is, yes, where you put your gloves on. So there's a few different recipes on the internet for the homemade tie-dye. We have decided to go with food coloring put straight onto our shirt. And then from there, we mix some water and a little bit of vinegar. And then if we want to spread our color more, we're going to like just put it on there. We think it's going to work best because it's food coloring directly onto here. Lots of recipes use just water and food coloring, and then they pour it on the shirt. But we found it didn't work as great. We're just going to see how this works. It actually doesn't look like you need too much. And then I'm going to use some of my water. You might be using a lot of food coloring. We have big bottles at the
Industrial size.
Yeah. So you guys can get those if you want. I'm sure it's like a wholesale Costco somewhere. So I'm going to try and spread it a little bit in there. Blue. Some purple. And then remember, colors will mix together. We make other ones. My blue and my yellow is mixing right now. I'm going to make some green. So remember, you don't have to fill your whole shirt with color. I like to fill all the tops because the in-betweens will not be filled. If you go through, so once you're done the front, you'll want to flip it over and do the back, which we'll show after. But in between here, all your little crevices, there's going to be white. And that's also why we're using water, to get it in there.
Okay, I'm going to flip mine over.
Shayla's done the top of hers. To be honest, I find blue always stays really well. Always. We might need some more red. Oh no, oh no. And if you're getting colors all over it, don't worry. It's tie-dye. It's gonna look really awesome in the end. And so I think Shayla's matching both of her sides. So when you flip it over, you can look on the other side and see what you have. I'm not. I'm just gonna go for it and hope for the best. Try some of the light green.
Okay. Now we've made a sufficient mess.
Yes, very. So you will make a mess. And that's why we also suggest doing outside. It's less of a mess in the house.
Okay.
I'm not Shayla's just putting the stuff away here. I just thought I'd let you guys know. What else do I need? Green? Blue. Oh, that don't put us on. I'm going to put a little bit more yellow because I want some bright colors in there. So, I tried to cover the whole outside of mine. But remember, the inside should have some white still. Okay. So now, as you can tell, this is why you wear gloves. They'll come off. Okay. Okay. So now you're going to take your plastic bag. And you're just going to wrap your shirt inside of it. You can grab more than one if you like. I'm going to hold mine. I'm going to do this. But after you wrap it in your bag, or a few, we're going to put ours outside because we're hoping the heat might help our colors stick a little more. But you're going to let it sit for at least 8 hours. After you let it sit for at least 8 hours, or let it sit for the day, maybe overnight as well, and then tomorrow you're going to take your shirt, you're going to mix half a cup of salt water, or half a cup of salt with water until it's dissolved, cold water, and you're going to dip your shirt in there, and then you should be able to dry it from there. It should be good. So yeah, cool. Let it sit. Salt and water. And then it's good to go. Okay. Awesome.
Cool. Well, thank you for joining us for our last activity.
Yeah. We're glad to have you guys all summer.
Have fun at back to school.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next summer.
Bye, guys. Bye.